Hey guys, Santa Claus here with another set of NFL predictions. This time it's week number 15. We've made it to week 15. This is the one game, and there's one game on this list. There's 16 games this week. And as of right now, the Rams-Niners game has not started, so as of when I'm recording this, of course, but probably when I upload it, it'll be started. But I will be attending one of these games, and you probably will be guessing which one. I will be revealing which one it'll be. We got tickets for it back in May, so we'll be there on the 15th. So, anyways, let's get to the picks. The Los Angeles Rams take on the San Francisco 49ers. Oh, by the way, last week I messed up. I originally picked the Tennessee Titans to beat the Jaguars. I picked the Titans to beat Jacksonville. But in the video, I said I picked Jacksonville, even though I didn't. So, and Jacksonville ended up winning, so I got that prediction wrong, anyways. The Los Angeles Rams take on the San Francisco 49ers. I will be going with the Rams for this matchup, solely because the 49ers are battered by injuries. CMC is out for the year. Debo is not getting the ball enough. Brock Purdy looks like ass. The Niners are 6-7. And the only reason they're 6-7 is because they beat a bad Bears team. But they're still in the playoff hunt. So, it's really hard to assess there. But I am going with the Los Angeles Rams beat the San Francisco 49ers. They are currently 7-6. They gave the Bills a run for their money. They're the reason the Bills have 11 wins. No, or 10 wins at the moment instead of 11. They're 10-3. So, anyways, I'm going with the Rams. This puts them at 8-6. And the 49ers, they will be 6-8. The Washington Commanders taking on the New Orleans Saints. I'm going with the Washington Commanders. Although the Saints beat the New York Giants, that was against the New York Giants. Not a battered... A 2-11 Giants team that's just terrible this year. This week we saw 4 playoff eliminations. Somehow the Carolina Panthers are still in it. I thought they were officially eliminated from playoff contention, but they were not. With the loss to the Eagles. But the Washington Commanders... I'm picking the Washington Commanders, coming off a bye week. The Saints, they're bad. They're currently 5-8, but they will clinch a losing season. I don't know how the Saints are just bad this year. I don't know how else to describe them. They're just bad. And as for the Commanders, although they beat the shitty Giants, they're still not good. They have 5 wins on the year. So the Commanders will clinch a winning season at 9-5. And the Saints, I think the Commanders will be a shoo-in for the wild card. And as for the New Orleans Saints, they will be 5-9. And possibly eliminated from playoffs. I'm not sure. These next 4 weeks are going to be very crucial for some teams. The Eagles clinched the playoffs already, but they need to clinch the division first because they need home field advantage. So, the Commanders will probably be the 7th seed. If the Commanders win out and the Eagles lose out, then they win the division. And the only reason the Eagles haven't clinched the NFC East is because the Commanders are on their tail. So, as opposed to the Commanders at 9-5, the Saints 5-9, and the Saints aren't making the playoffs. There's no way. With that team, the Saints don't make the playoffs. This is the game that I will be attending. It's supposed to be nice in Cleveland. And this will be the first time the Chiefs enter Cleveland Stadium since November 5th, 2018. Or November 4th, 2018. It was just a routine Sunday game. So, the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Cleveland Browns. I will be at this game and I will be vlogging. I'll be vlogging my experiences at the game. I will be picking the Kansas City Chiefs. There's no way. There's no way I don't pick the Chiefs. The Browns are 3-10 and they've already been eliminated from the playoffs. So, and they lost to Pittsburgh. So, Pittsburgh is currently 10-3. So, But I am going with the Chiefs over the Browns. The last time I went to a Cleveland Browns game, they beat the Houston Texans in 2021, and they also beat the Chicago Bears in 2021 as well. I went to both those week 2 and week 3 matchups. So this will be my first Browns game since then. And, of course, the Chiefs, gotta love the Kansas City Chiefs and their dark magic. So, they're probably going to they're probably going to win on dark magic for some odd reason. Anyways, I'm picking the Chiefs over the Browns. The Chiefs will be 13-1, and the Cleveland Browns will be 3-11. The Cincinnati Bengals take on the Tennessee Titans. I'm going with the Cincinnati Bengals over the Titans here. The Titans are just bad. They lost to a 2-10 Jacksonville team. I originally picked the Tennessee Titans, but in the video I said I picked the Jaguars, so I still stand by that pick. I picked the Tennessee Titans, even though the Titans lost. So, the Titans are 3-10. They're out of the playoffs. Cincinnati is probably not going to make it either. They're currently 5-8. They beat a Cowboys team that's, just god awful. They're just not good. Wouldn't surprise me if the Cowboys finished the year 6-11. They currently hold the 12th pick in the draft, and so the Rams-Niners game, it is officially 8:15, at least according to my clock. Well, there. It is officially 8:15, so that game is just getting started. But I am still picking I'll be picking the Rams over the Niners. Anyways, sorry I keep getting distracted. The Bengals, they should be at least a 9-14. There are a lot of games that they should have won, especially with Burrow's stat line usually. He usually puts up 350 passing yards a game. And his receivers get like 2 touchdowns a game too. So it's absurd to me that the Cincinnati Bengals are 5-8. They should have beat Los Angeles. They should have beaten the Chiefs. I mean, God forbid they beat the Chiefs. But, But I am going with the Cincinnati Bengals. This puts them at 6-8. The Titans will be 3-11. The Miami Dolphins taking on the Houston Texans. So, the team that drafted Laramie Tunsil. I know the Dolphins and Texans have played since he got traded to Houston. So, but I like to say it because Dolphins Texans is the Laramie Tunsil Bowl because they paid quite a bit to get one of the best offensive linemen in the game. But anyways, I am going with the Houston Texans to beat the Miami Dolphins. This puts the Texans at 9-5. Texans coming off a bye. Dolphins are not even close to winning the division because the Bills already clinched it. So, and the Dolphins will be 6-8. The Dolphins did beat the New York Jets in overtime. The Dolphins are still in the playoff hunt for some odd reason, but I doubt the Dolphins will be in the playoffs if they do get their shit together at the end of the year. So, I'm going with the Houston Texans. This puts the Dolphins at 6-8, and the Texans 9-5. Oh, by the way, everybody's played 13 games so far. So, the Baltimore Ravens taking on the New York Giants. This is an easy one. I am picking the Ravens. The Giants are just bad. They don't have a quarterback. If they win, they will be losing out on Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders or whatever QB ends up winning the Heisman. Oh, by the way, I picked Dylan Gabriel to win the Heisman Trophy. So, no Ashton Jeanty this time around. Boise State does not have good luck with its Heisman candidates. I mean, Kellen Moore was once a Heisman candidate, and he was at Boise State. But, he never won. So, that's why I don't think Ashton Jeanty is going to win it. And Travis Hunter, it's very unlikely that a wide receiver / cornerback would win a Heisman Trophy. So, it's probably either going to be Ward or Dylan Gabriel, since Gabriel is the only one that's outperformed everybody in the Heisman finalists. All right, I'm getting distracted. I mean, to be fair, I already said I picked the Ravens. They'll be 9-5. The Giants will be 2-12. So, if they keep losing, which I hope they do, they will get the number 1 pick. I mean, to be fair, the Raiders are on their tail as well for the number 1 pick. But I'm picking the Ravens. They'll be 9-5. The Giants will be 2-12. The New York Jets take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Both of these teams are on a downward spiral. They are both 3-10. I'm actually going with the Jets. I actually want to confirm that just to make sure that I'm not going crazy, because I feel like I picked Jacksonville I made these picks a while ago, so. Um, okay, let's see what we got here. Jets, Jaguars. I ended up picking the New York Jets. So, yeah. I don't think the Jaguars will win this game. They look sloppy against Tennessee, even though they, should not have won that game to begin with. The Rams-Niners game has started. There's 13:30 left in the first quarter. I'm picking the New York Jets over the Jacksonville Jaguars. This would put them at 4-10. Both of these teams are out of the playoffs. And as for Jacksonville, they will be 3-11. So they're getting close to a top 5 pick. So, and I hope they fire Doug Peterson at the end of the year. It's just been a bad season for them. So, yeah, I'm picking the Jets. The Dallas Cowboys. I don't know where that. The Dallas Cowboys are taking on the Carolina Panthers. I will be picking the Dallas Cowboys. Carolina Panthers are bad, etc., etc., and they're tanking for a top 5 pick. So, but the Cowboys, this would put them at 6-8, and the Panthers 3-11. I have no comments about this one. Dallas is just bad. Carolina is also bad. There's just a lot of bad teams. There's just a lot of bad teams playing this week. So, we have 7 already eliminated from playoff contention after week 14. And all of them have at least 10 losses on the year. Except for Carolina, who is still somehow in the race. Next up, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the Los Angeles Chargers. I am going with the Chargers over the Buccaneers. Yeah. The only reason the Chargers lost is because they were playing the Chiefs. They're 8-5 because they lost twice to the Chiefs. But I think Herbert's going to have a good day. I'm not sure exactly. I mean, to be fair, I don't think Herbert's even playing. But if I get this pick wrong, it's, because Herbert isn't playing. But I'm still going with the Los Angeles Chargers over the Tampa Bay Bucks. This puts the Chargers at 9-5. And the Buccaneers at 7-7. This puts them at 7-7. Next, we have the Indianapolis Colts taking on the Denver Broncos. I'm going to go with the Denver Broncos. I made these picks a while ago. I'm going with the Denver Broncos over the Colts. This also puts the Broncos at 9-5, and hopefully they make the playoffs. But the AFC West is actually pretty good this year. The Chargers 8-5, the Broncos 8-5, the Chiefs 12-1. All 3 of those teams combined for 28 wins. So, you know. Anyways, I'm going with the Denver Broncos. Bo Nix is going to have a day. Yada yada yada. The Colts are bad. They'll be 6-8, and the Broncos 9-5. And away we go with the next pick. The New England Patriots taking on the Arizona Cardinals. I am actually going with the Cardinals. As much as I don't like it, I don't like the Patriots either. They're out of the playoffs. They lost. I actually went 11-2 this past week. So, I am going with the Arizona Cardinals. Patriots are going to play like slop. So 2 losing seasons in a row for New England. And speaking of New England, congratulations to Bill Belichick on accepting the job at North Carolina. Although, he's 72 years old and probably can't teach college kids how to play football. They gave him a 5-year deal. So even if they fire him, he's still laughing all the way to the bank. But I am going with the Arizona Cardinals. This puts them at 7-7, and the Patriots 3-11. Next, we have the Buffalo Bills taking on the Detroit Lions. This will be a great game. Josh Allen versus Jared Goff. Last time these two teams played in Detroit was Thanksgiving in 2022. And the Lions ended up losing that game on a game-winning field goal. So, and I am actually going to pick Detroit. They are currently on a 11-game win streak. They are currently 12-1. They clinched a playoff berth last week against the Packers. And the Bills, they fought their heart out to the very end against Los Angeles, the Rams. Yet they still came up short. They're 10-3. But, playing the Detroit Lions the next week does not help. So, I'm picking the Detroit Lions. They will be 13-1, and the Buffalo Bills will be 10-4. Next, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. I am actually going with the Philadelphia Eagles. They're also on a win streak. They're 11-2. They clinched a playoff berth. Nobody in the AFC actually clinched this week. Except, the only 2 teams that clinched were the Lions and Eagles. So, we'll be seeing them in the postseason. Week 18 is all about seeding. Or playoff clinching. Week 18 is going to be very important for some teams. So, I am going with the Eagles. This puts them at 12-2, and the Steelers 10-4. So if the Ravens beat the Giants and the Steelers lose to the Eagles, that means they're a game. The Ravens are a game back from the division lead. I'm not sure what the tiebreakers look like at the moment, but I am going with the Philadelphia Eagles over the Steelers. This puts them at 12-2. The Eagles are 12-2. The Steelers will be 10. Excuse me. The Steelers will be 12. No, the Steelers will be 10-4. Now we're officially getting into the primetime games. The 3 from tomorrow, Sunday night. to Monday night. So we have the Green Bay Packers taking on the Seattle Seahawks. Seattle is going in the right direction, and so is Green Bay. So this won't affect any standings in the NFC West, I don't think. If the Rams do end up beating the Niners tonight and Seahawks lose to the Green Bay Packers, I think the Rams would take the division lead at 8-6. And so that means if the Seahawks lose, they would also be 8-6, and I think the Rams have the tiebreaker. So, and I think the Rams have to play the Seahawks at the end of the year. So, in Week 18, I think. But I'm not exactly sure who's playing in Week 18. But I'm actually going with the Green Bay Packers. This puts them at 10-4. Hopefully they clinch a playoff berth. And Seattle will be 8-6. The NFC West is just so bad. The Chicago Bears taking on the Minnesota Vikings. I'm actually going with the Vikings for this game. Yeah, that's an obvious pick. The Bears are just ass. They got walloped by San Francisco, who had absolutely nobody. They were up to their third string rookie running back, Isaac Guerendo. And the Bears still couldn't capitalize on the just a whirlwind of a season for Chicago. And Minnesota, they will be 12-2. I think with this win they can clinch a playoff berth. But very likely the Lions will clinch the NFC North. So, but it's either, at this point, it's a grudge match between Minnesota and Detroit for the North. And the Bears, I think this would officially eliminate them from the playoffs. If they lose, this puts them at 4-10. And the Vikings will be 12-2. I know I've been going on rambling about NFL for the past half hour. So, here is the last game of Week 15. Game 16 of Week 15. The Atlanta Falcons taking on the Las Vegas Raiders. This is a pretty easy one. I am going with the Atlanta Falcons. The Raiders are just bad. They're 2-11. They're gonna try tanking for the number 1 draft pick. They need a quarterback. Bad. AOC is not it. And neither is Desmond Ridder. So, I am picking the Atlanta Falcons. This puts them at 7-7. So if the Bucs lose to the Chargers and the Falcons beat the Raiders, then the Falcons would take first place in the NFC South, because the Falcons beat the Bucs twice. It's been a bad division the past few years. And somehow Tampa is going to find their way towards a division title. So, since they've won it twice in a row. Yeah, the NFC South and the NFC West are just god-awful this season. Except maybe Seattle and the Rams. But the Cardinals and Niners are just bad. Well, the only reason the Niners are bad is because they're battered by injury, but, just They're 5-8 or 6-7. At this point, you would have expected the Niners to go at least 11-2. And, anyways, I'm picking the Falcons. This puts them at 7-7, and the Raiders 2-12. Okay, we have made it to the end of the video. I will be doing a special vlog of my experiences at the Chiefs-Browns game. And I'll have to compile it all together. I'll have to edit it. It won't be out, and I think it'll be out at least this week, next week. Sometime next week. So, anyways, I'm going to end the video here. I'm going to see if any score changes with the Rams-Niners before we go. The 49ers are up 3-0 at the moment. So, anyways, I will be seeing you guys next week when we cover Week 16.